You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on the irlonestar.com.
This podcast on Lone Star Community Radio. If you like this show or other shows on Lone Star Community Radio, make sure to subscribe to them on YouTube and iTunes and also Google Play. If you have any questions about sponsorships or being a guest on these kind of shows, make sure to email me. I'm the station manager. Hi, my name is Dick, and you can email me at dick@irlonestar.com, or you can call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Just want to let you know we're here to support Montgomery County, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. We're halfway there, and the sun is still shining, and it's cool today. Oh, my word, it was cool today. And I have Jake the engineer. Actually, it's Jake you got your own show now, so it's hard to call you Jake the engineer, but you've gone from Jake the intern, Jake the engineer, and now you're Jake the star of your own show.
Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades, if you will, a Jake of all trades.
A Jake of all trades. You could have a show like that. Jake has his own show that's on today.
Yep, from 1 to 2.
I was getting ready to say it like so that you'd know that I remembered. 1 to 2, and it's Jake the sports guy.
Jake from Sports Talk, but close enough.
I know it was something like that. I got your name right. Give me credit for that.
It's taken you how long now? 6 months?
Yeah, that's right. You just seen the couple I had in here yesterday. I just saw, their first names, and I thought, I don't know your second name. What is your second name? And when they said it, both of them, it would take me, at least a month of seminars of how to pronounce their names, and I couldn't. I went like, can I just call you, Mary and Joe? Is it okay? And they said, yeah, that's fine. So I'm not good with names, but my name for today that I have with me is easy. Right? Because it's Melvin. She almost said Martin Stewart. I'm so sorry. Melvin Stewart. Melvin Stewart is with me, and he's from the North Place Church of Christ. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Church of Christ.
Great with names, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
Great with names.
We'll just get there.
I was trying to give a plug for where I go. It's North Place Church. That way you just say North Place Church, and you don't have a whole lot of titling around it. You don't have a lot of branding.
Right.
And so it's just a church, and it's in the North Place of town.
Right.
It's pretty good. I like that. So
yeah, we have that name, and then we're independent, too. So.
And you're independent as well. Independent from whom?
Everybody else.
Okay, all right. As long as you're not independent from God. I didn't know.
No, we have Jesus. We got plenty of that.
Okay. You still affiliate with Jesus and God. That's
Absolutely.
Good. That is good. But we're going to be talking to Melvin about all the things that he's been doing since Harvey. We're still doing follow-up on Harvey, and we'll be doing that probably for a while, at least once a week, talk about what's going on and who needs what and that kind of thing. And that's what we've been doing this last couple of days, is just people that are sitting at home. They have their electricity, their air conditioning, and their food and all, and they're feeling totally guilty, Melvin. Totally guilty because they want to do something. And that's what we want you to do.
We want to put those people to work, and we want to put them to work helping people. At North Place, we're forming some teams that we're going to go out, and we're going to and a lot of people are doing this. It's amazing. If there's a lot of negativity in this storm, but there's such blessing to see people coming together. And if you could just see the supplies that have come in from like Florida, and they're sending things from Nebraska and 18-wheeler loads of things that people are sending for the folks of Texas.
But has Florida called you and want their stuff back?
Not yet.
Okay.
Man. In fact, it scared me because they're wanting to send more.
Oh my word! Have they been looking at the news?
There was a school, an elementary school in Tampa that they put together. I mean, their entire gymnasium was completely filled with food, diapers, toys, everything you could think of, and I'm like, why are you going to send that to us? You guys are about to get hit as hard as we did.
Let's hold up on that. Let's hold up just a second now. We may need that stuff for ourselves.
Well, we've been praying for Florida that the storm would turn away from them. We're believing God that they won't get the brunt of the storm, that they'll be protected. And that's what keeps our nation strong, is that we are a praying nation. When we get into a place like we're in right now, people begin to come together and they stick together, and prayer is one of the first things that we turn to.
Amen, brother. I'm telling you, it's funny because people, a lot of times, you'll see on the news, the anchors will say, our prayers and our thoughts are with you. And sometimes it gets to be like a, be warm, be filled, kind of thing. And so I hope you're praying. I have said to people, well, we're praying for you. And then I get back in the car, and about 15 minutes later, I said, Cindy, don't you forget to pray. You better not say, you don't want to lie about praying for somebody. Right. But the prayers that have gone up have been amazing. And that we had the stall of the hurricane. I think that's what
that was crazy.
What people couldn't understand. Like,
Harvey got here and it went crazy. It just like stayed in Texas. It loved Texas like we do.
No, it saw that. Look, this is a big place. We're going to have to drench this for about 5 days before we can leave. But it needed to move on out, and we felt bad because we were moving it toward Louisiana, who had already had some terrain and all. They don't need it. So it was like, okay, we can take it. We can take it, and we can deal with it.
Right.
And we have. And Melvin, hasn't it been the greatest sermons that these people have taught without ever?
The first Sunday after Harvey, I preached on water. I mean, I did.
That's what people wanted to hear. Let me hear more about water.
And
that's a good idea.
But there, like I was saying, there's a bunch of negative things that have happened. But
sure.
But and all in all, with the giving and everything, and what we are is at North Place is we're the hands and feet of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my wife says all the time. And so when you do that, you have to go to work to help people.
Sure.
Jesus said. In the Bible, and I'm not going to preach a sermon today, but
Go ahead,
he said, by this shall they know that we are his disciples, that you love one another. And I think that at times like this, the love really comes out that God puts in our hearts for humanity. Right. And that's what we need to do, is we need to act on that, because if we turn away from that, our hearts will become callous, and we want to be sensitive to people's needs, and we want to reach out to them. And, we have been so blessed at North Place with all of the food items and things that have been sent into the church, and we don't want to keep those.
Right.
We don't want to keep those things. We want to get those things out into the public. And the longer they sit in the church, that means somebody's went hungry way too long.
Right.
And we want to get that food to them. We want to get the clothing to them. And we have clothing and food at North Place Church. Can I give the address of that?
No, we're not going to tell anybody where it is. Okay. So, no, of course. That's what I was going to say. How do I get there?
It's at 28152 Robinson Road, and it's east of 45.
Right.
And you go to Robinson Road, take the Robinson Road exit, and you go east on Woodlands Parkway. It turns into Robinson Road. And you go down to Hannah, and you jog to the right and then go over the railroad tracks. And go down, and there's a church called Reformation Church that you'll come to first. That's not our church.
So go there.
You just go. Yeah, it won't get you there. So you go around the corner.
But will it get you to heaven? That's all. Okay. Right.
And you'll see this nice brown gleaming church, and that's North Place.
That's it. It's right there.
Go to the side entrance.
Well, on Robinson, take Robinson all the way down till you come to the round over the railroad track.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You're almost there, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And you've got all this food, you've got all this stuff that you want to get out to people. So if people are hungry and they need some food, they need to come there.
Right.
They also need to come there if they want to take this to someone else or they want to volunteer.
Actually, and we do deliver. We, if we find an area where there's a lot of people that's been hurt or inundated by the flood, we want to get food items to them. We want to get clothing to them. So we'll load it on our trucks and take it out to the neighborhood and let them pick out what they need. And then, the rest we'll take to another neighborhood.
That is great.
And, the thing that we want to do is we want to, like I was saying a while ago, we want to appeal to people that are retired, that have time to do things and maybe have tools, and they're carpenters and they're bricklayers or whatever. We want to put them to work. And we're offering a great big zero for the first number on the salary,
yes.
And a lot of small zeros after that.
But what about the benefits? Oh, the benefits are there though, right?
Absolutely, man. I tell you, your heart just explodes when you help people. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm thrilled to serve the Lord because you know what? We don't at North Place Church we don't ask for money. We ask for your help. We ask for your your
talents.
participation in helping these people. It's not that we're a rich church. We're actually a poor church, but that's okay. God makes the finances come in for that, and we don't have to beg for them. We don't have to ask for them, and He creates that. But we do want to get out in the communities and help people.
That's what it's all about, is doing that. And I think that what has been always the strangest statement is that if you do something for somebody else, that they're in need, they're in desperate need of this, and you do this for them, and they're so thankful, but you're the one that feels better than anybody about it because you've done this. And it just doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, the way God has a lot of things, it's like the beauty contest that God's going to provide. It's not the same beauty that society sees. It is the beauty from the person within and what they are doing. And so you want to try and win that beauty contest for sure. But when you go to work and do something for somebody else and help them, your reward is so much greater. And that's what just goes against the grain of what society believes or what seems to be normal. We got to take a break, Melvin. Does it feel like it's been that long?
No, it doesn't. It seems like we just sat down.
Just sat down. Melvin Steward with the North Place Church. I just said.
Glad to be
Okay.
here.
Melvin, you're doing great. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio. Don't go away.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
All right, I know I'm interrupting the show for you, but this is Dick telling you to make sure to check out Mornings of Lone Star's YouTube channel. I know Lone Star Community Radio has a lot of shows, but I do a lot of great interviews too. So that's usually what I put on my YouTube page. Just look up Mornings with Lone Star. I'm right there. Hit the subscribe button. Check me out every time after I have an interview. More information on my lineup and who's coming in, irlonestar.com/MWLS for Mornings with Lone Star. So make sure to check it out.
Hey, if you like listening to the show, why not be a guest on the show? Just message me on the Cindy Cochran Show Facebook page, and we will arrange your appearance in studio or interview by phone. It's going to be so fun.
Would you like some water, Melvin?
That would be great.
I'm getting on it. I got it. I got it.
We've been talking about water.
You couldn't ask him this during the break, Cindy. Come on.
No, it's more fun to do. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show if you just joined us. And hopefully you've joined us on either 106.1, 104.5 FM, oh, yay, or you're in England somewhere and you're listening to us, irlonestar.com.
Why just England? Are you prejudiced against the rest of the world?
No, I was just trying to go as far as I could.
I think China's farther.
I think there's even people like Don Wilson who listens to us, and he is I'm not going to tell you exactly where he lives. Don, you don't want me to give out your address? No, okay. Anyway, but he's far away and listens to us. I got to tell you, Dennis O'Connor called, and we were talking to him. And Melvin, you don't know Dennis. Dennis is an amazing character. He does character acting, and he's just a character all the way around. And you never know what he's going to say, come up with. And he's one of those guys that you go, God looks right past that rough exterior. And what he says, he comes out of his mouth and knows there's a heart of gold. And he's a mush, but he's just so sweet and inside there. But he doesn't want anybody to know it. And if I've messed up his reputation now, so I'm sorry. But Dennis was reminding me. He said, I think it says somewhere in that Bible, right, that rain's going to fall on the just and the unjust. Is that
exactly?
That's right.
Absolutely,
I said, good for reminding me of that. That's right. It's a level playing field, and you saw people being rescued from those big old, big houses that are like estates looking to us. Mm-hmm. But that water filled up just like it did in some places that were a little, smaller places and houses.
But when that was going on, we actually could not turn off the TV because we were so touched by what was happening. Our hearts were breaking for the people. I remember there was one young man that him and his wife, you have to excuse me, it still makes me get emotional. Him and his wife had gotten out of the flood, and all they had was just them, nothing else, no bags or anything. And he was trying to talk to the reporter, and he started weeping. He just turned around and hugged his wife. It just broke me. And when we were watching this, we were sitting on the couch, and we'd been pastoring North Place for 5 years, and so we were talking. April and I were, and I told her, I said, I wish we would have gotten prepared so that we could help people in this time. And she said, yeah, well, we'll get ready for the next one. And when it comes, we'll be there. Uh-huh. And so about that time, I got a phone call from a guy named Ron in Florida. And he said, Melvin, are you pastor of North Place Church? I said, yes, I am. And he said, well, you know what? We've got some things that we want to send to Texas. And he said, I have been calling churches all over Montgomery County. I've called, I'm not going to mention any names of the churches. And he said, nobody would answer the phone. You're the first one that answered the phone. And he said, we want to send this stuff to you. I said, well, you know what? We hadn't planned on opening, but we'll do that.
That's great. So
because of that, we began to get the burden to minister to people, and God just allowed it to open up and flow. And, it's kind of like being in a ping pong or a pinball machine. You load the ball up and you let it go, and it just kind of bangs against everything, and then it comes out in the right place. So,
right.
And that's exactly what happened. Is God just kind of beat us around a little bit and then put us in the right place, and then just inundated us with the stuff and put us in the business of helping people, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Melvin Steward, you're with the North Place Church, and you are located on Robinson Road. And everybody in this area that needs food, there's food there to take to places, they will deliver. And they have a lot of items that they have ready to go. So if you guys want to be the deliverers of this, you can do that in volunteering, or if you want to go by there and get that. But they're waiting, and they do not want any of this food to go to waste at all. And it's on Robinson Road, going east on Robinson from I-45, and you just go over the railroad track, keep going, and you'll see this big round. You're in the round?
It's not
right?
actually a round church. It's like a shotgun church. It's kind of long.
Okay. But it's like the second church after the railroad track.
You know what they mean by shotgun church, don't you? You open the front door and you can shoot a shotgun all the way through it without hitting anything except the door on the other side.
Other side, I like that. It's a big hallway that you've got there. The thing about it is that you're doing a lot of good, and that's what it's all about. So I love that. Melvin, have you heard some stories, or have you seen, the expressions of people just change as they come in and find out that there's a place to go to get the things they need?
We've had a lot of people. As humanity, things catch our attention, and there was an elderly lady that come in, and her daughter had brought her because she didn't have transportation, and she came in and she began to pick up things, and she was really sad when she walked in the door. Uh-huh. I remember seeing her face, her lips on the end were kind of turned down. She was just, when people get in anguish, that's how it affects them.
Right.
And so she began to pick out things and find things and we didn't hold back. We just let her pick out what she wanted. And man, when she left, she had this great big smile on her face. And, she knew that there was somebody there to help her. And also she was telling me that she didn't have any insurance on her house, and FEMA does not give grants, I don't believe, to people when their houses are hurt. I think they actually will give you a 0% loan, and she didn't have the money even for that. And I told her, I said, well, look, leave your name and the number and take our number and give us a call, and we're going to have some teams to be putting together, and actually they're going to being put together this Saturday.
Oh, that's great.
And we will send somebody out to your house too.
Do you need to meet there? I mean, they need to come to the
They can come to the church. We'll set a specific time. We can. Usually we're open at the church at 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I've been trying to maintain that and be consistent with it because I want people to know that they can come and have a point of contact where they can actually receive help and be blessed, man. And, here's the thing. We've got these little cookers that we're going to take into the neighborhoods and we're going to feed people while we're giving stuff away and are handing out the stuff that they need. So we've already done some of that. We went into a place over by the river here. We had a team that went in there and they took 2 truckloads of clothing and water and everything else, and man, they went in there and took this little cooker and they took a lot of weenies and stuff like that, and they cooked food for him. And he said that he set his little stove up, and as he began to cook, people began to come to him.
Oh yeah.
And man, it was just wonderful. And there's no charge. It's just what the blessing is your heart feels a lot bigger when you leave than it did when you got there.
It is amazing. I mean, you tell people that and they just go like, no, I just be real tired. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't even know if I can, I don't know these people and I don't want, and once they do it, they go like, that was the best thing I've ever done. Is there any other place we can go? Let's go do something else. So it is a reaction that you're not normally thinking that's going to happen. But I feel so remiss because I never ask you, Jake, did anything happen to you? Because you're out by Lake Livingston, right?
Well, so Lake Livingston is where I live permanently, yes. But no, the water got about 3 feet up out there, but nothing major. Where I was actually at during the storm, though, was out in Katy, where my parents live. So they live, out by like Katy Mills Mall, if you know where that is,
right.
Is my dad's house, and we got about 5 foot of water out in the street, but nothing in the house, which is good.
Yeah.
And then my mom's house is out in Fulshire, right in Weston Lakes. There was a couple that died in a car out there, but outside of that, no, their house was fine. They have a river right behind their house. The river came up 28 feet. But no water in their house. But across the river, there was an elderly couple that are in their upper 80s, and they got 4 feet in their house. So
it just you never know. It's like it's like when the tornado comes and it just goes through this one place and picks up.
We had a tornado actually land right behind my dad's house.
Oh,
it took out a bar that it was on bar rescue, which is unfortunate, and then it took out the RV place that was out there as well. So. Very sad, very hard to hear. 2 businesses that are, rebuilding now.
This guy, they were talking yesterday about one of these people that were coming from out of town to come help and all, had never had a Whataburger, and they took him into Whataburger, and they videotaped him eating his first Whataburger, and the expression and how he went crazy over that. And they were talking about it on the radio today, and it said this guy, and they lost like maybe 3 Whataburgers in here. He was coming in to check on some of the franchises and stuff, and there were several businesses like that lost, and but I think it has just been like I had a TV on in every room, right. Melvin, because I couldn't get away from it, and I talked to my children, and they were saying, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about this, and I have to turn the TV on and see if if there's something else that's happened, and it's been amazing.
Well, and this is an exciting time because. What we can do now and during these times, whenever we're giving and we're helping other people, is our hearts will grow in compassion, and it's a time of growth for people. If we begin to just reach out, if you're sitting at home and you don't feel anything for people, just get up and go get involved.
Right.
Get out and go begin to do things for people and do stuff. If you can't go work, find something to do. If you can give. Things to different churches or places to bless people, like food and clothing and stuff like that. I know that a lot of the churches were so full,
right,
that they weren't taking anymore. And we work with Over and Under ministries here in Conroe. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or not, but they predominantly they minister to to people that are homeless and it's a blessing to see even they were full.
Right.
And it's exciting to see that, and they were housing people, man. People were coming in and they had a place to go whenever their house flooded.
Well, see, you don't realize the after effects and how this dominoes out is because this happens. This is horrible. This is tragic. People have drowned. People are in water and their houses are destroyed. But from that, the people that want to give, all these places that have been hurting and needing things for people that are homeless all the time, that are and that they're always trying to help and try and get on their feet. All the time, there are people like that. They're waiting for that. So it's been good because that has been so much has been given to them. Now this is Melvin Steward. He is with the North Place Church, and here in Conroe. And if you go on Robinson Road on the east side of 45 and go all the way down, go over the railroad tracks. The second church on your right is going to be North Place Church, and they've got the food, they've got things there. Just go be a part of something. If you're sitting there wondering, what can I do? Here's what you can do. And
one of the most wonderful things, and can I say this?
Of course.
This happened in one of the most friendly places in Texas, Conroe. We are a community that sticks together. We love one another. I'll tell you, when you drive down the road in this place, when you wave at somebody, they don't give you the middle finger. They wave back.
All fingers.
I shouldn't have said that.
That's.
Oh yeah, my little ears over here. They never heard anything like that. Y'all quit it.
Mine just melted down.
You can go forward. It's fine after this. That's exactly right. It is the best place in the world for this to happen. And I've got to wrap this up. And we're going to be talking to Ted Cox next. He has got a new show called Good News, and we need that. And so that's what we're talking about, the good news that's happened. And Melvin, you can stick around, sit there and listen to us. Let me talk to Ted about his new show, or you can leave. But if you want to stay here, you're absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I appreciate you guys doing this with me.
Thank you
Lord
for what you do. Oh, God bless you, and He has us, of course. All right, okay, I hear the music. All right, get out of here, Cindy. You're listening to Cindy Cochran Show, and we'll be right back. It's Real Reality Radio.
Remember, live is better. And if you can, join me Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and interact live on the show through my Facebook page. Let's get your morning started.
Hey, this is Dick Schissler, your favorite morning radio host on Mornings of Lone Star on Lone Star Community Radio. You're watching Our City TV right now, and I want to remind you I have my own show here on Our City TV every Friday morning at 9 a.m. and every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., highlighting all the interviews I do live on Mornings with Lone Star. So check me out, bookmark it, do whatever you need to do. Watch Mornings with Lone Star every Friday morning at 9 a.m. and every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. More information can be found at irlonestar.com. And this is Dick with Mornings with Lone Star.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. And a week long, we've been talking about Harvey, of course, and the follow-up, and this still going on. And it's, we talked about it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're going to be helping people for a long time. And hopefully, we'll always be helping people, no matter what the circumstances. But this has just brought everybody together and kind of raised awareness about things that are needed.
And one thing we didn't chime in on, I'm very amazed by. We went from a very trying time in our country to a time of just communities, and not just the Texas communities, but also people from all over the country coming and just donating anything and everything they can, and coming from such a struggling conflict that we were at with the statues and everything like that.
Exactly.
To see how much everybody came together on this one thing was just amazing.
I loved it, and it brought a whole different conversation. And anyone that starts trying to talk outside of that conversation looks really bad, and it looks very picky. Like, you guys were spending how much time on the air talking about what Melania Trump was wearing to the?
I know.
Oh my word! And then she walks out in the the most perfect outfit you could have, going to a storm, and she had on tennis shoes. It was fine. I was just shaking my head like, okay, click. I'm glad I can do that so I can go to someone else. But I tell you, the networks did cover this. They covered this event well.
Yeah, very well.
They had their people in there. It's just they couldn't pronounce the names. The Brazos River is Brazos Bayou, and the way they were talking about, and the Pearl Land. Out in Pearl Land. It was
it's funny to hear it though, because like they were talking about New Waverly as well, and they were like New Weaverly, and I was like, no, it's not a weasel.
Wait till they see the word TUAM and try. That has been probably butchered more than I could butcher it. In downtown, and it's hilarious. Anyways, but I want to ask Jake something. Since I've got him here, and I don't know how long. Every time it's like, is he been taken over by Fox Sports or somebody's gotten him?
No, it's kind of been how it's been. But no, I was pulling out drywall and flooring and everything the past weekend for friends. We had to do 2 boat rescues. So
you did?
Family friends of ours that were stuck back in where the Baker's Reservoir was flooded out.
Right.
So
right.
They got a bunch of water in their house, and they don't have flood insurance. So
oh man,
they're outside the 500-year floodplain. Why would they ever need flood insurance, right?
So here, sitting right across from us, just 2 feet away, is someone who's had hands-on experience. Jake, thank you so much for doing that, Jake. I tell you, a video that I saw that was on my daughter's feed on Facebook started talking about this lady's talking. There's a reporter there. And they're just talking about things that are going on. And this girl had her iPhone, and they said, "Look!" And they looked over, and there's this car goes up under the underpass, goes up and hits the because they couldn't believe when they saw it. She's trying to get through there. She's trying to get through there, and then her car goes up, and then it starts going down, and they're going like, the car's sinking. And so this lady, who was not someone who is real fit, starts walking through that water trying to get to it, and it gets up to her chest, and she's still going to try and get to this truck, and she's screaming, trying to get this lady to get out of the truck. Yeah. And the lady's not, you get in shock, and you don't know what to do. So she finally gets up there, and she says, "You got to help me open the door. We got to get the door open. We got to get the door. Roll down the windows. You got to come out." And she's going, I can't leave my car. I can't leave my car. She says, "Get out." And she was just like. So she drags this lady out, and she has her purse. I said, "Put your purse up on my shoulder, and nothing will get. Come on." And she's, "But I'm leaving my car." She's so bad. So she got her halfway there, and she starts getting up to ground where she can walk, and they get up to dry ground, and they turn around and look, and the car went all the way under.
Yep.
And that was it. And she started crying, and the poor lady that walked out there, that was not somebody that was wearing a Fitbit watch. She lays across the cement just like she was exhausted.
Yeah, I bet she was.
And the lady hadn't said thank you or anything, and we're like, look, she didn't say thank you. And so finally she says, "Thank you so much." And this guy had walked over trying to get to him and said, "You just saved her life. And how did you do? I can't believe you did that. You were able to make that happen." And I've never seen that video on anywhere.
No, not on any Fox News or anything like that. Nothing.
It is just an amazing feat. And she wasn't looking for any kind of, but her friend kept her camera going the whole time because she couldn't believe it. And she's yelling. Everybody's yelling at this lady to get out of the car. But anyway, speaking about Jake, thank you. I didn't know you were a hero, and here we are.
Oh, I'm not a hero by any means.
See, that's what those people were saying.
Family friends of
I'm
ours
just helping. I'm just helping.
Just trying to do the best for them.
But it was a good feeling, right?
Yeah, it was.
I
would have hated to see them have anything happen to them.
Right, there you go. So I know they love you for that.
Well, who doesn't love me, right, Cindy?
Boy, that is so true. I can attest. Amen, brother. Preach it.
Anyways, the question you wanted to ask me was?
Yes, because his show, Jake, say it again.
Jake from Sports Talk.
Jake from Sports Talk, and he wears khakis. That's the only way I can remember this.
It's wears khakis.
Yeah, okay.
It's like your favorite insurance company.
That's right. What is it, State Farm?
I don't know which company it is. I'm not going to say.
State Farm. Okay. Anyway, so Jake has a sports show coming up at 1 o'clock, and so I wanted to ask you this question: what do you think of the cheating from the Red Sox? They're calling them Dirty Sox in New York, and the game against the Yankees. What do you think about that?
Everybody does it. I'm not showing my biased colors here.
Yeah.
I'm simply just saying that everybody does it, and the fact that the Red Sox got caught, got caught cheating, they should be fined and penalized, in which the commissioner sees fit. No problem with that. Just do a better job of because everybody steals. But it was
very creative.
Everybody steals signs. It's the fact that they use technology to steal signs.
They used the technology to do it, and it was a high-tech way of stealing and cheating. And so I thought that's just something. That's going to be an interesting story.
Now, the question I want to ask you, sports-wise, have you seen what petition is going around the greater Houston area right now?
J.J. Watts for
99.
president.
No, J.J. Watt to rename 99.
To rename 99,
The J.J. Watt Highway. I think that is hilarious. I mean, he's raised over $20 million for this storm.
Hoping to get 200,000, and now it's at 21 million.
21 million now?
Right
That's
now.
the updated number?
He can't believe it. And he's huffing and puffing while he's doing the interview because he's moving people and moving things.
Well, and he's preparing for an NFL season that starts Sunday. And I mean, to see him and how much, and the funny thing is he's really like that. If you ever meet him in real life, he is that overly enthusiastic, constant, caregiver.
Right.
He's not fake. That's J.J. Watt.
Okay, there's a little fake on the commercial where he's holding the couch up by one hand as he walks out the door with one. That's a little fake. No, but he does have.
Well, that's HEB's doing.
He does have the charisma, and he has the following. And if he wants to run for anything, he can get it.
Oh, if he ran for mayor of Houston, he'd win in a landslide.
That'd be it. Okay, so big kudos to J.J. Watts, and this big thing that Beyonce's getting ready to do, and all these stars are coming in to do a. They're not coming in here, so I think it's going to be somewhere else. But they're going to have that concert, and all that money is going to.
Well, and it's funny what social media did for this storm, and how much social media gets criticized on a day-to-day basis throughout the year. How much this storm was affected by social media in a positive manner,
right.
And Katrina didn't get that same sort of love from the community because I think it was harder for people to get connected with it if they lived in Seattle or New York or whatever, So I'm thankful for all those families that are still underwater. They can't get to their homes still.
Right.
And FEMA got so much funding and the Red Cross and everything, and it's been wonderful.
It's blown everybody away.
Yeah.
It's just, we got to keep this feeling going after like 9/11 and how patriotic everybody became and all the flags and everything out there feeling so good. And because of human nature, a lot of that will wane. And so what we want to do is then to keep it
rolling, not necessarily in the favor of Harvey, but into other aspects of life in our community. I mean,
we needed that shot in the arm.
Yeah, as a nation, I think we saw a lot of positive come from this.
Exactly. So thank you, God, for that. But now I've got to talk to Ted Cox.
Do you want to tease him and bring him in for a longer fourth segment?
Well, how much time do we have left in this one?
We got about 3 minutes left in this one.
Oh, that's great.
So
we'll talk. We'll say hello and what we're going to be talking about. Ted Cox is getting ready to do a show tomorrow. His new show is launching tomorrow called Good News.
Right.
I love your name. Welcome, Ted Cox, to the Cindy Cochran Show.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully, anytime you want to cross-promote, you can come on and talk about your show, and then maybe you'll have me on. Don't do too much research and binge listening to my shows, but to know me is to. Well, you have to know me, and you have to listen a while to the shows.
I fear Ted AM not knowing what she's got planned.
Something is being set up here.
and you're gonna have to have me on your show. But anyway,
Sure.
You reached out and said I'd like to come on and just watch you do the show, so I can get a sense of how the show's. Richard, does Richard know that you wanted to come listen to my show?
No.
Otherwise, he probably would have said, "Oh, that's not who I want you to."
Don't necessarily mimic everything Cindy does. Cindy does a lot of good, but she also got some bad habits.
No, I have some bad habits, but I certainly do love putting a face to businesses, charities, and things like that. I love that, and then I love to get to know behind the scenes and that kind of thing, what's going on. Right. But you're doing Good News at what time?
This will be every Thursday afternoon from 1 to 3 Central.
1 to 3. So you're doing a 2-hour show.
Right.
Good for you. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad we're going to have some expanded shows here. And,
just jump right into the deep water without ever swam before.
I love that. I love that. That wasn't a pun or anything, right?
No.
Okay, no. Okay. We will. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about, is what Good News is all about, and how you got to this place. And I'm excited. Welcome.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're listening to Cindy Cochran Show, and we'll be right back. Real Reality Radio.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey guys, I'm Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
We are Nerd Thug Radio. Catch us every Monday from 1 to 3 and check out our website, nerdthugradio.com.
We like to talk about quilting, horseback riding, and baking quiche.
Actually, we don't, but we do like talking nerdy to you.
That's right. Every Monday from 1 to 3 p.m., hashtag talking nerdy to you.
Hey, this is Cindy. Just wanted to thank you personally for listening. Remember, live is even more fun, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. And if you or someone you know would like to sponsor The Cindy Cochran Show, please message me on my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Attention movie lovers, The Ticket Stub is a new radio show servicing Montgomery County that is meant for you. The Ticket Stub is available live every Thursday at noon on FM 104.5 and 106.1, as well as anytime on irlonestar.com. Connor and Dick will let you know what's coming out in the theater, what is worth streaming, and what's going on in the world of film. The Ticket Stub, your home for movie talk.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for listening. We know that you have a choice, and this is our last segment. And I've invited Ted Cox, who's going to have his show starting tomorrow.
Right.
And it's called Good News. Come on and tell us about what we're going to be hearing from Good News.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. So, we're on Thursday afternoons from 1 to 3. The intent behind it was, as I approached the station, I've thought about having a radio station every once in a while, and like most things in life, you sort of have a great idea and you get excited about it, then you don't do anything about it and it kind of goes away. Mm-hmm. Well, this one I said, I'm actually going to follow through. And so the premise of the show is that if you're watching the cable news outlets or you're watching local news, you just are bombarded with really bad news 24/7.
Right.
But you and I know really good people who are doing extraordinarily good things out in the community. And I thought, these people need to be talked to and highlighted, so that we can have at least a glimmer, a slice of hope that there really are good people left. It's not just what we're being shown on cable TV.
Right.
And so that was the premise of the show. And then when I approached the station, as they had a couple of openings, I proposed it, it was accepted, and now we're beginning to work on sort of show themes. We're going to have different themes through the year, or at least that's our hope. And so we'll have these just ordinary people like you and I on, who are out serving in the community, doing good things, but are getting no recognition. Not that they want it, but that by hearing them, I hope our listeners will be able to say, it's not all bad out there.
No,
it's not all bad, and there's good people. And I'm inspired by that person, and therefore I want to go do the good that they're doing, or do something good for my my neighbor, my community, my church, my whatever.
It will
whatever
be
is.
a relief for our ears to hear some good stuff. Now, a lot of people may say, like, well, how are you going to find that much good news? Because they are programmed to believe that everything is bad, because of the different shows that you watch.
Right.
And so to finally have something that you can listen to and just hear, these are good people. This is like the good stuff. And you've seen these people probably on the air now that you've seen a lot of the television, the stories that are coming off of the news.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get to meet some of these people and find out what they're all about and what made them get out of bed in Florida, get clothes on and say, we're going to Houston and we're going to take care of them. And then to come back to it's going to be interesting. Irma's going to be interesting for us to follow, like what happens in Florida. And then what we can do, and it's funny. People are probably already gearing up. I'm sure the Cajun Navy has already got they're halfway there.
And while you mention them, I would like to say a big thank you to the Cajun Navy. They did a lot of work out in the Katy area, and I know 3 of the Cajun Navy members.
Oh man!
I was trying to get them to come on today, but they were busy. They are preparing. They are preparing to go to Florida.
They
are preparing to go to Florida. So
well, when they're through with Florida. I love to have them as they're coming back to
Louisiana.
Yeah, to Louisiana. I guess they won't come back through here. They won't. But we want to have them on. We will, probably every show we have on, we'd probably love to have them, talk to them.
Yeah,
so
for
now,
sure.
Who's booking your show? You're booking? You're
Yes.
booking it by yourself?
Yes, I have. Actually, my other half is acting right now as the show producer. My wife of 29 years.
Good producers, yes.
Yeah, and she's everything I'm not. So she's a planner. So she's got almost the next 12 months planned. And I'm thinking, it's Wednesday afternoon. Maybe I should do some show prep for tomorrow. So we're a perfect match. And while we frustrate each other,
but still,
she's really doing a fantastic job.
Well, as you were talking about all the preparation, all the planning that you've been doing, I thought, I know Richard loves you. I call him Richard. What do you call him?
Whatever he wants.
Richard.
No.
I know he loves you for sure. I hope you get Jake as your engineer because Jake is wonderful he's there to fill if you want to just ask him a question.
Sure. Yeah.
And he'll be glad to answer.
And I promise you, I don't talk this much on every show. I
too much.
I have to keep Cindy on track. That's why I pop in and out of her so much.
Then I'm
going to write that down. But he's wonderful, and so because I've had the pie chart meeting with Richard many times and about what I should do and I should have all this, and I'm just not. I like to go with the flow. It's not that I'm a '60s kind of person, but I just love whatever happens to go with that, and it's more fun to me that way. So I like, just like you sitting here, like, come on, Ted, tell me about yourself. I've done that with people that be standing there looking at us through our big glass plate glass windows, showing what's going on behind the scenes, and I'll go out there and say, "Are y'all visiting here?" They go, "Yeah." So come on in and be on the radio. What? And Martha, I don't think I was going to be on the radio, but they come in and they tell a story, and it's it's fun to be that way.
So I know we're going to learn a little bit more about you tomorrow, but quick glance. What's your background? Where what have you done for a career? Who are you?
Sure. Well, I grew up in South Carolina. And I went to the University of South Carolina. So while I'm no threat to anyone in the SEC from a football standpoint,
I was going to say
it was fun to watch A&M collapse.
Awesome.
So,
we're gonna get calls.
Exactly. So, I started my career with Dell Computer in the late '80s. I met my wife in Austin. We went and lived in Atlanta for about 12 years. And she said, "You know what? Did 12 years in your neck of the woods. It's time for you to come to Texas."
Mm-hmm.
And I think she got tired. One of the things she got really tired of in the South is that salsa is not ketchup with a little hot sauce in it. And that's what I grew up on, right? I mean, salsa was ketchup with hot sauce. She said, "Mm-mm." And so I remember one trip that she made back to Houston. She ate Tex-Mex 5 days in a row. Mm-hmm. And then she came back and she was happy. So so I did that. I had a number of jobs within technology. Felt like God was calling me out of that. And walking down Houston Intercontinental Concourse C, felt like God was calling me out of the business world and into ministry. So I applied to Dallas Theological Seminary, and what you'll get to see with me is I see God's humor in a lot of things.
Good.
And so one of the things that God was humorous about was they accepted me. So I have my master's degree from Dallas, my THM from Dallas Seminary. And for the last 7 years, I've been a pastor, the English pastor, for 2 Asian churches. One was predominantly Taiwanese in heritage, and the other was a Chinese in heritage.
And you spoke in their language?
In English, yes.
In English. You had someone just interpret for you?
Yeah, so when we had joint services, and if I was preaching, then I would preach in English, and then I would have a Chinese translator. So,
amazing. That's amazing.
And that was, I mean, to get that cadence right was hard.
I bet. And to make your point, when you get really passionate, you have to stop and wait. Okay, finish.
Yeah, exactly.
And then go on.
It's like doing the salsa.
Yeah, you get the inhale, translate, exhale. So that was a lot of fun. We made a lot of good friends, but we just felt like after 7 years, it was time to sort of come off the mission field. And so I'm teaching at Lone Star. I'm also an adjunct professor through Laterno. So I'm teaching worldviews and religion and several things, and of course doing the radio show starting tomorrow.
That's so cool. And what's cool that when God, you hear that calling, he doesn't necessarily want you to leave everything that you've learned.
Right.
You bring that into the ministry, and with all your tech and all the stuff that you have behind you, that you bring that in. And makes you even more fun and valuable. But Ted Cox, everybody. Ted Cox will be here tomorrow, 1 to 3, and with good news. He's going to be here with good news every Thursday, 1 to 3. Now the ticket stub is Thursdays, right?
Correct, from 12 to 1.
12 to 1. So they're your warm-up act. So that ought to be good.
Well, and good for you. They have a lot of listeners, too. So
yeah, so it'll be good. You've got a good... See, I don't have anybody. I just got... No.
People tune in to Cindy no matter what.
We need to set the bar sufficiently low then. So.
Well, we're excited about having you on, and welcome to the
family.
Community. Yeah, and this family.
Thank you very much.
So this is exciting. Tomorrow, everybody, Ted Cox, 1 to 3. And you can listen to the ticket stub if you want to. If you have nothing else better to do, you haven't, or maybe you need to change the air in your tires. I don't know. But anyway, there's going to be a show there as well. Okay. So thank you, Jake. I'm so glad you're here.
Glad to be back. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes. Tomorrow is the best of. Thursday and Friday is the best of. You're going to like the best of what, Cynthia? Oh, there's some best of. Just be quiet. Tina, thank you so much. Tina Lockhart, thank you so much for being here. And we will see you Monday live. You guys have a great week, rest of the week and weekend, and enjoy yourselves. Make somebody happy. You'll be happier. It's so weird like that. Okay, guys, the Cindy Cochran Show, always real reality radio. See ya.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hi, this is Cindy Cochran, and I want to thank you for checking out the Cindy Cochran Show and invite you to listen live every weekday morning from 10 to 11 on FM 106.1 and on 104.5 and globally on irlonestar.com. The show you just fell in love with was recorded and will be posted on our podcast channels on iTunes and Google Play. You can even watch the show on our YouTube and on TV with our City TV Channel 12 on Suddenlink. So make sure to subscribe to keep up with me. My Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show, is always a good place to contact me through messages, to interact live on the air and ask questions, make suggestions, whatever.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.